Hey guys, how's it going? This is hashtag follow the conversation, episode 54. This is me, your host, Drewby, who needs a haircut, and my co-host, Michael. How's it going, Michael?
Hey, pretty good. What's up, guys?
This is the weekly episode of theculturemanpeople.com where we get on and we talk about whatever we want to. And we get away with it so far. We haven't gotten caught yet. You know, this pirate stream has not been jacked yet. We are still coming to you live and loud for everyone to hear. Man, this audio is really. I might have to might have to lower the recording levels a little bit. This is coming through really loud.
Yeah, I can hear myself really loud in my own ears. I'm feeding back.
You know what? I can fix this really fast.
This is live. This is live.
Yes. On the video. We may have to reboot this for the audio. Okay, hold on. All right, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
And you can hear me, and you can't hear yourself anymore?
I don't hear myself anymore. That's true.
All right. See, hey, this is a quick live troubleshoot, fixing this audio crap. You should have said something before the show, man.
I didn't hear it before the show.
That's weird.
Yes. It's very weird.
How's it going? What's going on?
I am embarking on an epic journey. This is
really?
The thing that I'm using to keep myself from going off on tangents this episode is that I am trying to well, hold on. I'm going to see if I can share my screen live. I don't know how to do that.
Yes,
this is screen share.
Is terrible audio, but
All right, here we go. Can you see this? Can you see this picture of me?
Oh no!
I have a window here for the audio podcast. It is RuneScape, and I am seeing if there so one of the epic quests I made for myself a couple months ago is I wanted to see if there was a way I could figure out how to jimmy myself into my old AOL Instant Messenger account. For some reason, I got a wild hair up my butt to try to jerry-rig my way into my old RuneScape account, which I did not that many years ago. It was a few years ago I did it, and the account still existed. And I'm guessing I had to change the password, and I can't remember what the password is, and it was before they tied anything to email. So the password, the way I would get my password back is not tied to email, so I have to enter all of this other crap that's I don't know, not... it's asking me for if you've ever paid for this game, what was the way that you paid, and what's your passwords that you've ever had on this account ever, and I don't know.
How long ago was this?
That I did what?
That you were actively using your AOL Messenger account.
My AOL, I don't know, forever ago. But I was speaking specifically about my RuneScape account now. I eventually got into my AOL account. I was able to do that, and it was cool. So one of the funny things was it showed that Amanda was logged in to her AOL account.
Where?
Mobily. It said mobily. So I just sent a message that said, "Hey, what's up?" or whatever, and if I remember correctly, it texted Bethany, Amanda's sister's phone. It somehow direct texted her phone, and I don't know how the...
Wow.
Yeah. What's up, chat?
That's some technology going on right there. That's what's happening.
Yeah. So that's special. RuneScape.
So, yeah, RuneScape. Are you played a lot of that game back in the day?
Kind of. Yes, but I cannot remember my password to save my life, or if I redid my password, I don't remember what it would be.
Was your password?
My original password was Aragorn, but it's not Aragorn or any form of Aragorn that I can remember.
Nice. He is the model that all men should look up to. Like he is the gold standard of a man.
I would always agree with that.
I was listening to a podcast recently where they were talking about and recapping Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers, and it was just like a 3-hour podcast. I don't necessarily recommend this. This was like not a clean podcast at all, but they were like talking and breaking it down, and yeah, like Aragorn is like he's such a boss. Him and Boromir. One of the guys had like a man crush on Boromir. It's like specifically Sean Bean, I guess. It's just like because he's, but yeah. Now Aragorn. Now some of the stuff that has come out of the like that movie, like there's the scene where like he kicks the helmet, the orc helmet, and like he actually broke his toe.
Yeah.
Shot. There's one scene I don't remember if it was in that movie, but like he broke his tooth. Like they don't do stuff like that anymore. I don't hear. At least I don't hear about it in movies anymore. And
because Viggo Mortensen is actually Aragorn. He's just like lived through these years immortally.
When J.R.R. Tolkien wrote this book, like Aragorn of the Dunedain, who was then only like 40 years old, that's the man I want to play. That's why I'm modeling after this character. And then they just got the same guy who like out of Tolkien's imagination and like threw him in the movie because he's Dunedain. He just lasts forever.
Yeah.
I should watch those movies. Those are good movies. The original three, the Fellowship, the Two Towers, Return of the King. I am not necessarily recommending the Hobbit movies. I only saw the first two, and like the first one was okay. The second one was kind of garbage. So.
The third one is fine. It's not
fine. Is it better than the second?
Yeah, I mean, because there's more fighting. Okay. So that makes it better. But like if you just want to watch CG stuff, it's cool. If you expect any sort of practical, like if you expect to see two actors acting on the same screen at the same time that are not CG, I don't think there's a single scene where that happened. I'm probably exaggerating, but
that's the only way they were able to get Orlando Bloom into the film. They just like CGI'd him in.
A lot of his stuff is CGI. Like they do this, whatever. It's really there's a lot of CG in that movie.
Sucks. That sucks. But there needs to be a line between like The Hobbit, Star Wars 3 and Labyrinth. There's got to be a line in there somewhere between like practical effects and. I
don't know why you would need more special effects than Labyrinth had. Labyrinth is the perfect amount of movie. It's like the Labyrinth is the Citizen Kane of movies, to borrow the expression.
I've never seen Citizen Kane, so I don't know what that means.
I've never seen Citizen Kane either. I just know that that's the thing that everyone says. Like, if there's a good video game, they'll be like, "Oh, it's the Citizen Kane of video games. It lives up to the most absurd. Like, it's the best one that exists." I say Labyrinth is the Citizen Kane of movies.
That is a controversial statement, sir. That would not hold up.
You don't know. You've never seen it.
I've seen Labyrinth. We watched it.
You've never seen Citizen Kane.
I'm just saying that.
What if Citizen Kane is actually like E.T., where you go back and watch it and you're like, oh, never mind.
Everyone is just ignoring Citizen Kane because that's it's like, oh no, it was great back then when we saw it. It's like Star Wars 1. Oh wait, no, that wasn't even good when people saw it.
Dude, I'm telling you, I cannot remember this password to save my life.
Well, maybe it'll come to you. Just give it time. Meditate, do what Oliver does, and just like sit in front of a candle and just think really hard.
So Oliver does an Arrow?
Season 3, he's like, I can't remember where this thing fell. It's like, you're going to sit in front of this candle and you're going to meditate. And you're going to remember. And he's like, oh, I remember. Thank you. And then like he goes and finds this piece of paper that they needed. So, yeah. It's all about the breathing and the thinking.
Well, my headphones just flew off.
So this is a new look. Yeah. So while Michael puts his headphones on, it's been kind of a quiet week. We had Halloween this last weekend, and
we didn't post a single thing on our website.
No, we didn't. Even though like I said I was going to. I don't know if you did or not, but no, it didn't happen. So, did you end up playing anything for Halloween though?
Yeah, so I ended up doing playing a game called something Beyond.
Until
No,
Dawn
yes, I almost said Beyond. It's called Until Dawn. I played a game called Until Dawn with my wife.
with you. And how did that go? How's that as a game?
Um, so it starts off kind of slow. It's like a quick time event. It's similar to like a David Cage game or maybe like a Walking Dead game a little bit, where like it's quick time events and decisions that you have to make. Like there's not a ton of like what you would consider normal gameplay, and it's like a horror slash slasher story about a bunch of idiot kids who go into the woods and they're all there by themselves, and um, they play a prank on some of the kids, and the kids get mad and run off into the woods and then die. Um, and then after they die, a year passes, and on the 1 year anniversary of the kid's death, the kid's that died's brother invites them to come back to the lodge to try to like, I don't know, find peace with this situation or whatever. And it doesn't take very long before bad, very bad things start happening, um, and people start. In theory, there's a way to play this game where no one dies. The second trip back, I have not played it that way, so people are dying left and right now. Um, it's like a lot of fun kind of stereotypes of horror where it's like you guys should totally not split up, but everyone totally splits up, and like they're getting weeded out by these killers or whatever they are. There's like a mystery going on where you're trying to figure out who these killers are, but I also have like a secret theory on who the killers are. And like, so you're finding newspaper clippings and stuff for like these people that have been on the mountain, and there may be some other people on the mountain with you that you didn't think were on the mountain. And there's 8 characters. They're all like a David Cage game. They're all modeled after real life actors and actresses, and so they actually look like their parts. Like Hayden Panettiere is in it. Dude from Agents of Shield is in it.
Grant
The
Ward.
bad, yeah, sure. The bad person from Camp Rock, I don't know her name, is in it. And everybody looks like their real life counterparts, and it's got pretty good facial capture, and so I don't know. It's a fun experience. It started off I thought kind of slow, but it's a game full of jump scares. They're all over the place. If you're afraid of jump scares, it's chock full of them. But then there's also some other kind of like foreboding and stuff that's happening. I'm really enjoying it. My wife is enjoying kind of watching and helping making decisions. A lot of the decisions have to be split second. So I kind of just pick, but then my wife and I talk about the ones that you have a longer choice to make. And basically you are put in situations where there's like no right answer. Like you're a dude and there's a blade heading towards 2 of your friends, like on a railroad cart, and they're tied up, and you're locked into a room, and you are like the serial killer comes over on the radio and says, all right, you get to pick which one of your friends dies. And you're like, but I don't want anyone to die. And there's nothing you can do, because even if you pick no choices, the thing will murder one of your friends. It is not afraid to be a little bit gory, a lot gory.
When you say the bad guy from Camp Rock, are you talking about a girl?
Yeah, the main girl. I don't know her name.
Okay. Because I was looking at IMDb, I was like, this guy's like, I don't reckon it. Okay, so all right, so
Yeah, and like I've never really watched a lot of horror or slasher movies, but it seems to follow the tropes that I know, which is like these teens are really scummy and jerks to each other, and like they're all trying to be promiscuous with each other. So like, maybe you want to see them like get a little bit of punishment, but then the way that they die, you're like, oh, that's messed up. Like that's not cool. It's just, I don't know. Some of that stuff is rough to watch.
I've never seen. I'm not a big horror guy. I haven't. So like, but I kind of I can like those tropes are kind of known, I guess, a little bit. Have you seen the Geico commercial with the horror movie with all the horror movie tropes, where like
No.
these young adults or teenagers are running through the woods? It's like, oh, someone's chasing us. Hey, look at that car parked over there with the key and the lights turned on. We should go get into that. No, let's go hide in that garage with like that's full of like chainsaws and stuff like that. He'll never find us in there. And so like they all like run in there, and then like he's actually just like, in the end of the commercial kind of ends with him just like the bad guy just like, for real guys, like this is where you're like, okay. All right, so yeah, you played that. Did you get a chance to play any of Five Nights at Freddy's?
Five Nights at Freddy's. No, I didn't. I was gonna play that, and then I ended up running shorter on time because I was doing some stuff with my wife, and then I just decided to play Until Dawn. That's where I started. We haven't finished that game, but I think we're probably 2/3 done. I don't know. Half our people are dead, so it can't go on forever.
Or can it? They're all just in limbo, and it's just like an endless cycle of just like them coming back to life.
There was a scene. Okay, are you ever going to play this game?
I doubt it, but maybe at some point in the future. I wouldn't spoil it for me.
Not even any part.
How far into the game are you going to spoil? Are you talking?
It's a thing that happens at 2/3 part. I think it's optional. It's just go ahead. There is a room that you walk into. You're already okay, like a horror movie would be. You're in a place that maybe you should never have like let yourself get there. Like maybe you should have turned around and gone the other way when you saw something creepy happen, but instead you decided to follow the creepy thing. So you're in a place where you probably should never, ever, 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 ever have gone. And you're sneaking around in a room, even though you know, like you're sneaking around in a building, even though you know that there's a bad guy in the building and like bad things in the building that are trying to kill you. But you're snooping around anyway. And so I walk into this room and there is like a pedestal in the middle of the floor. And on the pedestal, this is going to be a little bit graphic, is a severed limb. So like it is an arm that's like so it's a square pedestal. It's just a square wooden box. There's an arm sticking out of it going like this. It's waving back and forth.
Okay.
Like waving. And so I'm like, what the heck is this thing? So I walk up to it and I grab the arm or whatever to see what it is.
As one would do in a situation like that.
As one would do. So I'm like, what the heck is this arm? I want to see what this arm does. So you grab the arm and a giant bear trap grabs your hand and just clamps it hard.
Oh.
So you've just got your hand in this bear trap. I happened to have a machete on me.
Okay.
And so the game is just like, do you want to try to take apart the bear trap or just amputate your fingers?
It's okay.
And so I'm just sitting there and the dude's just screaming. He's just like, he's yelling. And I know that there is like a serial killer or at least a murderer in this building. And like, there's like things in this building that that want to kill me. So I'm like, I don't know how long it's going to take to try to get this bear trap off. I'm just going to cut my fingers off and try to run. And dude just like cuts his fingers off and it's so messed up, which like all of these are horror tropes or whatever. It's just, it doesn't make it any less painful to watch. Like Amanda was just kind of like, it's just like, dang.
It's a great time. You know, that's
there's a lot of messed up things that happen in this game.
Is it enjoyable? Are you enjoying the game?
Yeah, I want to see what happens. I don't know. The thing is, like a good horror movie, I'm guessing these characters are just, they could have all survived, or at least survived longer if they just had not been so dumb. Like, the first thing they do is split up and go their separate ways, and then even after they start getting murdered, so let's say like they're at the point where I'm at, where 4 of them have been murdered, we'll assume. And then they meet up, like 2 of the characters meet up, or 3 of the characters meet up, or whatever. Like there's 4 people that meet up, and they come together and they're like, "There's no way we're gonna go back to the lodge where it's warm because it's in the middle of a blizzard for one." Like, there's no way we're gonna go back to the lodge where it's warm and just wait on him to kill us. And it's like, there's only one of them as far as you guys are concerned. Like, go back to the lodge and hole yourself in a room and lock up until the blizzard's done. They have cell phones. Like, they're holding cell phones, but they're not working because it's storming. Just go hole up until the next day, man. There's 4 of you and 1 of him.
Well, I mean, if they were... Man, if they were smart, they wouldn't even be in the situation at all to begin with. So there's a series of life decisions that led them to this point.
But yeah, it's like when you're watching people watch horror movies on TV. I'm just yelling at the characters like, "Oh, sure, I guess you would just do that because that's the stupidest thing you could be doing at this minute right now."
Good times.
It's a fun game so far.
All right, good. $60 still right now. It came out this year.
I bought it for $40.
All right. On the is it on PS4, PC?
Yeah, PS4. I got a physical copy.
I don't. Is it on PC? I don't even know.
No, it's exclusive. It was like exclusive that they didn't. They mentioned it briefly at E3. I remember seeing the trailer, but like they didn't hype this game much at all. And then it dropped, and everyone's like, "Oh, this game is kind of rad. Like, why didn't you show this off? Why did you show off Order 1886 or whatever? That game was crap."
Because that was their first party studio that made that. Like, that's what else? That studio did something else. I can't remember what. Was it Ratchet and... I don't remember the name. That studio did something else, and I can't remember what it was. Let me see. What was it? 1888 or something like that.
1886, 1860. The Order.
Executive Order 1884. What is
1886. It's 1886.
Woodrow Wilson. Oh, this is an executive order that Woodrow Wilson passed. Thanks, Google. So,
it's also called. Oh wait, never mind.
So, Until Dawn, and then you never got. So that was your Halloween experience. Did you guys watch any scary movies or do anything else?
No, we were gonna do that because we knew that it was gonna be a longer game, so we didn't pick a scary movie. Last year, I think we watched The Ring, and it still creeps me out to this day.
That is a movie that I will never see. I don't need. I
watched Insidious.
Yeah, a decision that I regret daily. That's not true.
I cannot remember this password.
it's random check-in or every 15 minutes. Michael, how's the password going? Still nothing.
Mm-mm.
So, well, for my Halloweeny, I decided I was going to play, and I did, Alien Isolation. This is a game that came out last year, and I picked it up on a Steam sale. And I was gonna play, record, and I was gonna play through a lot of the game, and then just record my entire process, and me was playing hours of this game, and then like edit the stuff together instead of just releasing a 8-hour video on the internet. And so I played for about almost an hour, about 45 to 55 minutes, something like that, and finished that up. And that just that little bit was like I was tense, like I was scary. So something really funny that happened. You can see in the background on the wall opposite of my guitars back there, I had a guitar poster that had like chords on it and stuff. And so I'm playing this game, and it's all dark. There's like the candle is lit. There's like no lights on. I've got like the light on my mic and the camera, and that's like it in the monitor. And so like I'm playing this game, and it's like super tense. And all of a sudden, I swear I hear something that came out that was not in my headphones. So like I turn around and it's like, what was that? And I'm trying to figure out, what was that? I don't see anything. It's like, but I'm already like super tense from playing this game. It's like I swear that noise came from outside of my headphones. Like, so I'm looking over, like I'm staring back. I have the video of like it happening, and me just like staring in the background, like what was that? Like what happened? And then like nothing happens. So I continue to play the game, and it's like I think maybe later I heard a noise or something, but maybe it could have been in my head. And so, like, I finish up and I wrap up and I didn't edit or anything. And I went to bed and all that stuff. Come out the following morning, my guitar chord poster had fallen off of the wall and onto the floor. And so I'm pretty sure that was the noise that I heard, that crinkling or whatever, when it landed. So that kind of freaked me out a little bit when I was playing through Alien Isolation. But that game is cool. It's not my type of game. I do not like horror, and so, but I played about 45 to 55 minutes of that, and it's kind of neat. It's one of those things also where it's like, don't do that. No, don't make that decision. No, why are you doing this? Something is wrong. Like, why are it's just what horror tropes. Though not as many as like Until Dawn is like purposefully tropey, whereas Alien Isolation kind of plays off of Alien, which is probably one of the movies that set horror movie tropes. But I played through that game a little bit, and so I was going to come back and play more on Friday night, and so, but I realized that the video was garbage on my first recording, so I spent like an hour and a half, 2 hours, like trying to get the video to like work right on recording, and it wasn't working at all, and I just gave up and didn't play any more of that. So I got like 45 to 55 minutes of a scary game that I played on Tuesday night of last week, and I didn't even so that was the extent. Maybe if I can get my recording working, I will go back and do something for that and actually record me playing Alien Isolation, because I think that could be a fun game for the viewers of the site or those who want to check out and just watch me like do something like scary tense and then watch me freak out. There was one part where I'm walking through this spoiler. I'm walking through like this hallway or whatever. I just climbed over some obstacles and you're walking forward, and all of a sudden like this guy like runs like in front of you. And like he's way ahead, like he wasn't even super close to you. It was like the noise, and then like the guy runs in front of you, and it's like that freaked me out. The sound design in that game, I think, is really good. A good horror game, I think, needs to have great sound design, and at least it's Dead Space, and it's like that space station sound design. It reminds me, I guess, of Dead Space to some extent, where it's just like you're just in a space station that's kind of all metal, and you hear like gears churning and like things clunking and clanking, and like it's really quiet, and all of a sudden like you turn around, there's like an alien there, and it's just so I didn't get to even the good parts of the Alien Isolation, because I guess the great part, like where this alien, you actually get to see the alien, and you're sneaking around and stealthing and you're trying to avoid it, and all this bad stuff is going down. So I didn't actually get to any of that. I didn't even see the alien in the game, but maybe I'll get to that at some point. But yeah, I just could not get OBS to record correctly for me. I was really having problems with it. I went online, I looked at YouTube videos, I read a guide from OBS itself, and like I was trying different things, and like you'd think it would be getting better, but then it would just be laggy as heck, and it just so I'm not a video guy as far as like video editing and producing. This is so I don't know. We'll see if I can come back to that. But that was my attempt at a Halloweeny. So this year kind of failed for the site on Halloweeny night.
Yeah, we didn't do great last year either, if I remember correctly.
I actually did get some Dead Space gameplay put out. Like I played that game a little bit more. The first year I played I had like 3 hours of like recording gameplay of like between Dead Space and Alan Wake. And so. And I know you played.
You played Alan Wake for Halloweeny?
Yeah, 2 years ago. Yeah,
oh, no.
I didn't. What?
Are you still there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
You played Alan Wake for Halloweeny?
Yeah, 2 years ago. Our first Halloweeny.
I don't think you did.
I did. I promise you that I did. I know I did.
You played Dead Space every year for Halloweeny.
I played the first year. I played Dead Space and Alan Wake.
Oh, I just guess I didn't watch long enough to see you play it.
Yeah. No. Yep. No. The first year of Dead Space was the one that was super good. That was the one where I got the really good jump scare where like I'm like in this level, I'm trying to figure out this puzzle. I finally figure it out, and like it makes all this noise and it freaks me out. And then like I walk away and I turn around and there was this thing right there, and that was the jump scare. Like I freaked me out. I killed the thing and like paused the game, and I was like, oh, just take a breather. That was that year. So, so outside of Halloweeny, which is over, Halloween is come and gone. What else have you been up to? You been watching anything?
I've been watching season 3 of Goldberg's. Like, do you want to talk about TV a ton on here? Because I know you have a TV podcast. I've been watching season 3 of Goldberg's, and then AFV with Alfonso Ribeiro.
Yeah, Alfonso, the good old Alfonso Ribeiro, always faithful. Semper Fi.
What?
Isn't that what the Semper Fi means? Is always faithful? That's the Marine motto thing.
I
Pretty
don't
sure that's what
know.
it means.
Yes,
Nice.
always
Yeah,
faithful or always loyal. Yes, that's what that means.
there you go. Yeah, Alfonso is always there when you need him.
What is the thing where they says seize the day?
Carpe diem.
Carpe diem.
Seize the day.
Yeah, I remember the community episode about that.
That was a great community episode. Jeff is like this giant tool bag who's like trying to fake himself into seizing the day. Oh, it's great. That was great. Yeah, no, we have a carpe diem. We have a TV show podcast. And we actually named it. It is the name of the show is Cultural Screening, and me and Mark get on and we talk about current shows that we're following, and then some talk about some other shows. And so right now we're trying to cover 4 TV episodes: Supergirl, Flash, Arrow, and Agents of Shield. Not necessarily in that order. And so yeah, check it out. If you're interested in those shows, if you're following them and you want to hear some people talk about it, possible theories of what's coming down in the future. Marcus is into comic books. I was also into comic books, so I don't still read them. So there's that a little bit of perspective there as well. So and then we also get stuff from outside sources and stuff. So check it out. Cultural Screening. We've got 2 episodes up right now. So yeah. So okay.
Are you having a brain freeze?
So no, my mind is just like completely blank. Like, so this is a problem that we were talking about running into. What was one of the things? What is the one thing that we always used to talk about on the show? Is I'd always talk briefly, at least in some form, about video games or the TV show podcast. Now that I can't talk about TV shows because we have that conversation somewhere else, it always limits. It always like hashtag is just the vine that all of our other shows branch off of at some point. And I actually don't have any notes, so like we are completely open to talk about whatever. I thought there was something I wanted to talk about though tonight, and I can't remember what it was. I saw it. Oh, so I played. So Destiny did this Festival of the Lost deal this last week, and it's actually still going. And I got really upset. I got kind of upset with it because it's like, here are all these quests, and here's like this special event. It's like, oh, cool. Like, let me do these things. And so I'm like, I'm doing it. I'm farming. I'm actually trying to complete all of these objectives. I completed all of the objectives yesterday, and it didn't give me jack squat in that game. It was really stupid. So I'm listening to some Destiny podcasts. I listened to one from IGN and then one from another deal. And both of these groups are also like, yeah, this thing is like super cool. Like it gives the tower so much life, and you're walking around and it's like, you see these people with masks and it's like, oh, cool. Like I want to wear that. And like these people are like almost like LARPing on the tower. It's like, I want to see people dress up as like Xur. And then like they're talking about this. I'm like, this is all garbage. Like there's literally no reason to do this. Like, is your life so invested in this game that any little cosmetic detail that like that's not even fun is just like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever. Like, I'm really impressed that they did this and blah. Bull, sir. Give me like a sword or something, or even an emblem. I would have been okay if it's like, here's this holiday emblem. It's like, okay, cool, fine, whatever. They give you jack squat. And it was like, that was really irritating to me. You actually looked it up and didn't even care about the thing at all.
Welcome to Destiny.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. This is Destiny. So I guess I should just I should be used to it at some point. But the game that never gives and just makes you give everything and then it never gives back. It just continues to suck away everything that you put into it. So I played a bunch of Destiny this last weekend. I did that. See, I didn't really play anything else at all. Like that was basically it. Yeah. Are we just gonna let the silence go for forever?
I was just seeing how awkward it could be.
Yeah, no, let's make this awkward. No, right.
All right, let's count it out.
No, we're not gonna do that.
How long can an awkward silence be?
I don't know
What is
what.
the length of an awkward silence? 4 seconds is all it takes to feel awkward. All right, so hold on. Yeah, no, it's weird.
That didn't take long at all.
I was trying not to dominate the podcast with any rants this week. But I'm sure
really?
that if we pick a topic, I could go off.
Overwatch beta.
I'm not in it, so
Me neither.
I also didn't sign up for it, so I can't really complain because I realized I didn't sign up for it until it was already going out.
Yeah, I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting on that. I keep checking. Is it even still up? I don't even know if it is.
I don't know.
Legacy of the Void. When is that? That's got to be coming out really soon.
Yeah, I want to say that it's really soon, super soon.
Legacy of the Void. That game looks like that game could be awesome. November 10th. 8 days.
That's the same day as Fallout.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. That you actually want to get that game.
Yeah, I want to get Fallout 4 because I've never played Fallout and people love Fallout and I love Skyrim a lot. So I want to see what... Man, I keep getting emails about stuff, people ordering stuff on my Amazon account. Too many people have my Amazon account.
Yeah, you should really just change the password on it.
That would be funny. Change the same password as my RuneScape account and no one can use it.
Except you.
I can't use it either. I don't know what my RuneScape password is.
Then you wouldn't be able... Never mind. No.
I actually went back in time and remembered my RuneScape password. Then I changed it. Do you want to talk about whenever we're going to do our Life is Strange spoiler cast?
So I don't have a date on that yet. I've got to actually play through and beat it, but that is something that is coming tentatively on the site.
You have like significant amounts of time that you should be able to beat that game.
Yeah, I've got 2 episodes left. 1 4-hour episode and like 1 3-hour episode, and then I will have beaten that game, and then will completely and fully understand everything that happens in there.
Sure,
I don't
that's
know.
what.
Yeah.
So
Huh?
I don't want to talk about any. I was gonna try to talk about it some, but I want to save it for the spoiler cast. I don't want to taint your views on anything there. But I've enjoyed that game a lot. When we get to the point where we're talking about our top 5 games of the year, it's gonna be on there. Have you played any more Super Meat Boy?
Nope, I haven't touched that either. My time has been largely left with Alien Ice, a bunch of Destiny. Like literally on Saturday, I literally played like just hours. Like even after you got off, like I did some other stuff and then got back on Destiny. I was like on all afternoon, just like farming stuff and just having fun in that game. Like not necessarily even trying to complete those quests, but just still like just playing it. And it's like it's just a fun game. I still need to go back and finish Metal Gear. That's also on my list.
Well, you've technically finished it. At this point, you're just full completing.
But see, at that point, I'm not even full completing. I'm just like finishing the rest to see if there's anything left at the end.
There's not. I checked.
Okay.
You've completed the story officially.
It's Metal Gear. The game is so fun. It's so good. It was so good. Oh, I just want to play more of that game and more and more and more. Let's see.
I've been
Battlefront.
really getting the hankering to play something with like a joystick. Like I tried to play a game. I tried to play TIE Fighter, but that game is like for fools and people that really know how to fly actual spacecraft because it's so complicated.
Elite Dangerous.
I need to find Elite Dangerous is also for fools that it's too complicated. I need to find something that's like in the middle where it's like, okay, normal people can play this game with a joystick. Because I actually want to use the joystick. That is actually part of the fun for me. I don't want to use a mouse. I don't want to use an Xbox controller. I need to look up like really baby joystick games or something.
Well, you get a Microsoft Flight Simulator X.
That seems like it would be really hard.
Well, all right. If you can't play a flight sim, like what are you expecting to be able to do? Like
flight simulators are literally flight simulators. Like you literally have to do everything that you do in real planes to make it work.
It's not that hard. I've been playing flight simulators since I was like 5. They're not that bad.
everything about Flight Simulator. I've never played a Flight Simulator, so I have problems because it's like you have to turn this section of the engine on, and so you hit a button. It's like then you have to turn this thing on, and you have to turn this down to 1 and this to 2. It's like I don't know what any of these things do. How am I supposed to like take this plane off? I just want to like fly around and shoot stuff. I want a game that's like probably just TIE Fighter. I just need to like learn how to play TIE Fighter.
What? I don't know what game, like. All right, so Joyce, you could do a. I got the idea. Google, you could do a fighter game that uses a joystick.
No,
Street.
not like that. I think like it's a different joystick. Those are like fight pads. I mean, a game like X3, I think, is a game.
What
It's
about
like
Battlefield 3.
Battlefield 3. Well, yeah, like if you want to get in a plane or something. Like there's a game. I own
am
it.
listing like all of these like fighting games, and you're like, no, I'm not going to do that. No, I don't want to do that. No, I don't.
Battlefield 3 is not a game where you use a flight. X3
What
is a game where you are flying a spaceship around and you can press a button and turn into a mech. I'm pretty sure that sounded rad, if I remember correctly. What is Wing Commander?
I have Wing Commander on Origin. It's an old game.
X3 Terran Conflict. Okay, I'm watching gameplay for X3 Terran Conflict.
Okay.
Let's see if this is what I want. Right now, I'm just... it looks like there's a bunch of spaceships, including the player spaceship. Oh my goodness, I do not know what's going on.
Welcome to joystick gaming.
Maybe I just need to learn how to play with the joystick.
You see, joysticks are usually for hardcore players anyway. Like, normal people don't even use joysticks anymore. So, like...
Maybe that's my problem. I need to be a crazy person. I need to learn how to actually fly a TIE Fighter because that's how complicated some of that crap is. There's like 50 billion different commands that you can give like your... like. It's like the movies where like you can have like other people flying beside you and you can like wave them off so they'll go and like cover you or like attack different things, and like you will be flying like in an orbit around the ship. You can tell your fighters to go do other things, and like I don't know. I didn't even get to the point where like, okay, so I know how to fly and I know how to use the joystick to like control my ship, but like I would somehow accidentally end up like, if you're looking at the video, it's easy. If you're not, it's gonna be harder. I would have the problem where my ship would start turning like this because there's no gravity, and I didn't know how to straighten it up, and I didn't know how to control, and I was getting super confused. And I couldn't figure out the buttons to make it do that. I just need to have a flight instructor for TIE Fighter.
Is there an Ace Combat game for PC?
Mm-hmm. I have it.
Assault Horizon. You have it?
Yeah.
Is that
I thought
joystick?
I did. I thought I had it. What do I have? I have Hawks. Never mind. I don't have it.
Oh. Is Hawks joystick? Could you do joystick on that game?
I don't know.
I doubt it, but maybe.
Clancy's Hawks joystick. We're just going to Google stuff on this podcast now. Can you use a joystick for this game?
Luftrausers.
It looks like you could do this. You could play Luftrausers. I beat Luftrausers on the Vita. That's a fun game.
I didn't really see what everyone was enjoying about that game so much.
I enjoyed it. I thought maybe it was a little overrated. I liked it. I played it a lot. I mean, I beat it. The regular mode, not the hard mode. But
like it's a little, it's kind of different, you know, from some of the other stuff that it's just.
I had fun with it when I played it. There's a game called Downwell that everyone's playing that looks interesting.
Yeah.
I hear everyone talking about that game. There's Need for Speed. I saw stuff for Need for Speed, and that looked cool. The new Need for Speed came out. We should do like some kind of community gaming nights where we get together and we like talk. We'll be like, okay, we're gonna play this game on X night. This will be especially like good once I'm married because I'll be able to plan it and it'll be like on the calendar. And then the other days I won't be able to do anything.
Once you're married, you'll be able to do this?
Did I say married? I meant once I have a kid. That's what I meant.
Amanda, I've just disowned you for the past
I'm super
4
confused.
years.
I'm still trying to remember that stupid RuneScape password.
Dude, forget the RuneScape password. Just let it go.
I minimized the window. I can't see it anymore. What was I talking about? Oh, because I need to play Hot Pursuit with people. I was watching Jeff, who I'm wearing a t-shirt for, play the new Need for Speed game. And as he was talking, he was like describing that in the new Need for Speed, there's actually like, because it's made by the Burnout people, but also Need for Speed has a long heritage. There's actually just a slider, so you can adjust how the drifting works, whether it's more Need for Speedy, old school, or whether it's more like modern, like more sim-ish, kind of like tighter or looser. And I was just thinking, when we pulled Need for Speed last time, do you remember how giddy I was when we were playing that game? I was just like,
so happy about it.
I was laughing uncontrollably when I was like drifting around these corners at like 85, and I'm just like, you pull out of a drift and it feels so good. Like racing games can just be so satisfying if they feel the way that you expect them to feel. And like, I hadn't played a ton of that game, but it is exactly what I wanted.
It's all that you wanted and more in a video game. Man, that just got super blurry.
Yeah, you got super blurry. Like your camera unfocused.
So I don't know you anymore.
Yeah, that was definitely different than like internet blurriness. So you like got super messed up. Then that reminded me that I really liked playing Trackmania 2, but the Trackmania 2 server we liked is down. Like, yeah, he took it offline on purpose.
The guy said that, you know, he's gonna bring it back at some point to like, but he, you know, he's gonna let it, people play it for a little bit, get used to it, but he doesn't want to like kill the thing. So he'll like take it down and, you know, make it a fun thing that comes back every once in a while. So, you know, good, cool for him, like managing that responsibly.
I really miss Trackmania 2. It's this memory from earlier this year that I can't let go.
That was a good time. Track. When is the new one coming out? Is that next year?
I think so. There are times when I'm walking around where I still sing the Dayman dubstep song because I really like. Man, that game felt so good.
It's a special game. It is a special game. Oh,
I saw a thing for the Lord of the Rings. The game that came out last year. Shadow of Mordor. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that was the one that came out. Yeah, game of the year for people last year.
It made me want to play that game. I was listening to people talk about Assassin's Creed, and it made me want to play Shadow of Mordor as the best Assassin's Creed game. And then I couldn't remember where it was, so I didn't play it. I think that I let my brother borrow it, but it may be on my shelf. We're rearranging a bunch because of the baby, so I don't know where anything is anymore. We got 2 new bookshelves, and stuff is in the basement, and it's all confusing.
Yeah, I beat that game, the single player. I've still got some bonus content. I've got the like Game of the Year edition on Steam, and that game is good. It's really good. Like that is the Assassin's Creed that everybody you wish Assassin's Creed could be. So a lot of people are talking really good things about Syndicate, saying that the thing is actually pretty decent. So hopefully.
Yeah, the downside of Assassin's Creed is that once you actually get to hand-to-hand combat, even the people that like Assassin's Creed admit that like so many games do it better. And Shadow of Mordor did the hand-to-hand combat just as good as like your Batman's. Like it felt just as good. It looked just as cool.
I don't know how hard of a mechanic that would be to put in to your game. But like the template's already been set. Like Batman has it. Like, and I think they even try to do that a little bit with Assassin's Creed 3. Like it
just doesn't feel as good. Their engine is just weirder and not built for that.
They use proprietary Ubiquity, Ubisoft engines. I wonder what does that game run off of?
I would guess Unreal, but I don't know. I just make that crap up.
And game engine. Yeah, that game came out, and I want them to stop. Anvil is the name of the engine. So it's a proprietary Ubisoft engine. I wonder if it's the same one that Unity was off of. Yep. 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 I'm pretty sure that was the one Anvil. Anvil was the one that even became off of. I want them to stop making Assassin's Creed. I want them to freaking stop. I want them to take a break for a year or two and then come back. They never will, but
Instead, they released 2 games last year and 1 this year.
Well, last year was
Need for Speed took a break, and they came back with some FMV. They are definitely aiming for the like most wanted kind of FMV in the worst but best way possible.
And see, that's like that was my Need for Speed was Most Wanted. It was so good.
And mine was Carbon. I've still never played Most Wanted,
which is kind of just a Most Wanted sequel. That's all it is.
It's it is kind of a direct sequel. There's even the same characters. It sounds like there's less FMV, which the idea of more FMV in more games. The best thing about Alan Wake's American Nightmare, because it's less Alan Wake than you'd want it to be, because like it's kind of like in this like dream dark world or whatever, is that there's way more FMV than the original game, which had very little or none. There's a lot of FMV, or at least a good amount of FMV in American Nightmare.
Fun. Need for Speed took a break. Guitar Hero took a break. They're coming. They came back this year, which people are saying is actually kind of a fun game. Rock Band Twitch took a break. That came back this year. Let's see. I think that's as far as the games that took a break.
Did you say Tony Hawk? I don't remember.
No, I didn't say Tony Hawk. That game took a break and came back and was garbage.
Yes.
So you're gonna show us what it takes to log in?
This is my RuneScape account. If anyone knows my password, you should tell me, because I don't know what else to try, and I'm getting very sad. I'm pretty sure I logged into it like 3 years ago, but I don't remember. If I would have either remembered the password or changed the password. I don't know.
But here's the thing, though. At this point, you've tried every password that you can remember, that you know of, right? All of your passwords, right?
I don't know.
Make a list of all of them. Just write them down, and then just go through. Check.
My problem in my whole life, and maybe this is a personal issue, is instead of making up lots of different passwords, I have like 3, and then I just use variations on them. So I'd have to build like a prepending and like letter changing, and like I don't even know.
Nice. Well, here's hoping that we'll be able to get into your RuneScape account and start mining that diamond again. Do you want to play RuneScape again? Is that what you're trying to accomplish here?
It's mostly just to see if I can get in. I really don't. I heard that RuneScape is like very different now. Like I heard it actually is more like an active game where you have to play it. Like you have direct control instead of point and click control. And that I wanted to kind of see what that was. Though there's also RuneScape Classic servers, but I can't get into my account, so I just don't know what's going on.
Well, it'll come to you. It'll come.
Hopefully.
You'll be sleeping in the middle of the night. You'll literally wake up and yell Eureka, and then go sit down at your computer and log in.
Play some RuneScape.
Play some RuneScape at 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
So. Fun times, man. Fun times. I was trying to log into my Star Wars The Old Republic account yesterday and today, and I swear that I know that I played that game before, but I've tried like usernames that I thought I would have used, and like I couldn't get into any of them.
Well, but the benefit for that is usually you have an email account associated with your
right,
and so it should be easier to find.
Yes, except that when you enter in, I tried to do that and recover, and like it wouldn't, it just didn't send me any emails. Like I'm almost positive I know what name I used. I could very well be wrong, because I thought that I used the same one that I used on my WoW Warrior for that account, and I kept trying to have it send emails to me, and like nothing ever came through. To like, I logged into my old Yahoo email account, trying to see if it was like sending stuff, and like nothing was coming through. So I ended up just creating another account on that.
Do you want to know my new jam?
What's your new jam? Okay.
It's called Invisible Touch by Genesis. So last week on I Can't Know Music, I'll Know Music, we covered the album We Can't Dance by Genesis, which made me listen to the album Invisible Touch by Genesis because I wanted to. The first song on the album is the title track called Invisible Touch. It's my new jam. It's stuck in my head 24/7.
Is that... how long has it been stuck in your head? Like, just literally all throughout the weekend, just can't think of anything else?
No, so last week we recorded on a Tuesday. I want to say on a Wednesday. I'm yawning. On a Wednesday, I listened to Invisible Touch. I liked the song Invisible Touch so much, but I didn't know what playlist to put it on. So it's the only song on Spotify that I starred and like put on my like favorites playlist or whatever. But I didn't listen to it anymore because I didn't want to get sick of it. And so I couldn't even remember what the song sounded like. I just remembered that I really, really liked it. And then yesterday, when I was driving home from church, I said, I remember that song that I really liked. I don't even remember what it sounds like. I just remember it was awesome. And so I said, Amanda, I need you to look up this song on Spotify on my phone and play it. I don't remember what it sounds like, but I remember that it's super tight. And then I cranked the music all the way up, and it's been stuck in my head since last night. Like I was probably humming it in my sleep.
And is it a good song? Is your wife a fan of this thing?
Yeah, she's a fan of it. It's a good song. It's Phil Collins.
Gotcha. There's a song that came on the radio yesterday. It's called Mr. Brightside, and it's a song by the Killers. Are you at all familiar with this song?
I think that I've heard that song. Is it off their new album or newer album?
I think it's an older one.
I don't remember. I'm almost positive I've heard that song on Sirius XM before, but I don't remember what it sounds like.
Let's see, the album is Hot Fuse 2004.
Okay, so that's early. I'm still sure. That title sounds familiar. I think I've heard it. I don't know what it sounds like though.
Yeah, I really like the sound of the song, which is kind of odd because this sound is something like if you would have talked Canon to me like 4 or 5 years ago and say, "Hey, check this song out," I probably would have been like, this is like super weird and just like I don't want to listen to this right now. But like I mean, my taste in sound has changed to where like some of this stuff kind of sounds cool. Maybe you guys should check out one of the a Killers album for sure. That's my recommendation. There you go.
I've been cheating on our website.
Oh no.
So as an advertisement, I've actually spun up a website with another friend of mine that's specifically about music. So I can still do whatever I do on here, and we have my music podcast on here, but it's specifically about music. And I wrote my first review of an album on the site. It's called Soundscape, but the URL is SS411 Soundscape 411, which I don't know if people even say 411 anymore, but whatever. It's ss411.blogspot.com, and I wrote my very first album review of Carrie Underwood's Storyteller, famed country artist Carrie Underwood.
How'd that go? Are you a fan of this album?
I'm not a huge fan of the album, but I did my best to not use hyperbole, and to like listen to the album with as much of an open mind as I could have. Which doesn't mean, just because I had an open mind when I listened to the album doesn't mean I liked the album, but it does mean that I was giving it a fair shot and analyzing each track individually. And so I wrote the album. Basically, my conclusion of the album was that it was fine. Like it was just kind of a country pop album. The main disappointment of the album to me was that Carrie Underwood is one of the most talented singers I could think of, and she almost never utilizes that talent on the album anywhere. Like there's a couple songs where she does a couple things, but like she won American Idol because she's a crazy amazing singer, and she like she did the live production of The Sound of Music on TV like in 2013. Like she's a very, very talented person. And even though I don't love country as a genre, I have mad respect for that talent. And it is so not utilized on this album. Like it's just kind of the most some of the songs are better than others and whatever, but the majority of the songs are just the most basic like country pop songs, which whatever, pop songs are pop songs, and that's she was number one on iTunes when I started the review for selling that album. But it's like, what if Queen were somehow resurrected as a band with Freddie Mercury and they put out like the One Direction album, and you're like, oh, but they could do more. But I guess this is fine. Like I don't hate it. It's just they could do so much better. They could be writing Under Pressure with David Bowie again.
This album, was it fair to describe it as just a cash in then?
I don't. I actually had cash in my review, and I thought that was maybe getting a little bit too hyperbolic. But it's definitely a safe album, is what I said. She is making an album that she knows will appeal to the people that like her already, and it doesn't really do anything new. It doesn't really explore any new ground. It's just safe.
Okay. Are you familiar with her music at all, to the point where you could say, like, give an example of a song that was not risky, that was actually like using her vocal talents more?
I mean, even like, okay, I don't know a ton of Carrie Underwood songs, but like even her most popular song, I would think, Jesus Take the Wheel, like she shows off her vocal talent way more in that song than I think she does on any of the songs on this album that I can remember.
Okay.
Just like she shows at least her power and her range, and like she doesn't even explore her range very much on this album at all. And like, whatever, country music is country music, but like there's like 3 different songs on the album where like they're story songs about people murdering each other, and it's like, this is just weird.
I think it was Carrie Underwood who wrote the song about her boyfriend cheated on her, and so she grabbed like a baseball bat and just went up and like demolished his truck.
Nice. I don't know. That sounds like a country song to me.
Yeah, but she's also the one who wrote American Girl, which is a song basically about this girl who's like, the dad wanted a boy, but he got the girl, and then like this girl is like changing everybody's lives or whatever like that. Like it's just this whole
her deal, number one
is actually on my favorite country like playlist on Spotify.
Her single right now that's making her popular is the song Smoke Break, which, let's see, this is probably the most fan servicey country song. Let's see, Smoke Break, Carrie Underwood. Here's the lyrics. Let's see. This is potentially some of the most like fan servicey country music you could hear. She's a small town, hardworking woman just trying hard to make a living, working 3 jobs, feeding 4 little mouths in a rundown kitchen. When you're never taking nothing and doing nothing but giving, it's hard to be a good wife, a good mom, and a good Christian. She said, I don't drink, but sometimes I need a stiff drink, sipping from a highball glass. Let the world fade away. She said, I don't smoke, but sometimes I need a long drag. Yeah, I know it might sound bad, but sometimes I need a smoke break. Like, the country twang and the like anthem of like, we're normal people, but we are also potentially alcoholics and or like addicted to smoking. Like, it's the Red Solo Cup. It's the I got friends in low places. It's the let's sing about alcohol washing our problems away song. That's like a stereotypical like country anthem.
Carrie Underwood from Skokie, Oklahoma. She's 32 years old. So she's not that old, actually.
No.
I didn't really follow her on American Idol at all, but I did kind of hear some of the songs that she released and stuff and music and stuff like that. So not completely void, but I think my sister was probably a fan of her growing up and stuff. So do you want to talk about? Are you already have in mind the next album that you're going to review for this second site? Do you want to talk about that at all?
I don't. I'm looking to see what's coming out Tuesday. I don't remember what I was looking at. Last week also, there was a 5 Seconds of Summer album released, which I guess is like one of the only pop punk bands for the kids. If I were to describe them that way. I can't think of a lot of pop punk bands that are aiming at that demographic anymore. But 5 Seconds of Summer tries to fit that bill. It's weird because when I listen to 5 Seconds of Summer, I understand how people that grew up with like Green Day would listen to like Simple Plan and think that it was for babies and it was stupid. Because pop punk is a genre that is very dependent on whether you like the pop music that's being infused in the pop punk combo. So like early 2000s pop punk that I'm most familiar with sounds like early 2000s pop music mixed with punk. Whereas like the pop punk that's on the 5 Seconds of Summer album sounds like a One Direction style pop song mixed with the punk. And like I recognize that it has pop punk roots. It's just I have this conflict with like internally of like being an old person, be like, that's not the pop you're supposed to put in your pop punk. You got to put early 2K pop in your pop punk. It's like, no, that's not what the kids are listening to. Like, this is the same argument that I would have said when I'm listening to like Yellow Card. Like, no, this is pop punk. And they're like, no, this doesn't sound like 90s pop punk. This sounds like stupid early 2K pop punk. And now like this is 2015 pop punk. And I'm like, no, it's supposed to sound like early 2K pop punk. Or, you know, whatever. So I don't know. It's weird. I like it, but I don't know if I want to review it. It's really long.
Long?
Yeah, because like the non-deluxe album isn't on Spotify, only the deluxe album, and it's like over an hour long. It's like 17 tracks or something.
Okay. You know, some albums it's not bad, you know, super long ones like you get Ed Sheeran and stuff like those albums, like it's super long, it's like super good. That was a deluxe album that I'm glad that I have.
Weezer is gonna play a new single tomorrow on Beats One, the Apple radio station.
Oh, okay. Is this okay, so they've already got one single out right now, and it's that Thank God for Girls, I think is the name of the song. And then I guess another one. Do we know when this new album is supposed to drop?
No, they haven't said anything about it. In fact, today them saying that single was out tomorrow was a surprise announcement. The new song is called it's some kind of drug reference. Let's see. Weezer single Beats One tomorrow. Let's see. It's called I don't know. Whatever. I'll never find it.
All right. You never find that or your RuneScape password. It's all gone.
It's called Do You Want to Get High?
No. Well, maybe sometimes. Maybe sometimes. Yeah. All right. Well, if you have nothing else to talk about, if there's nothing else you want to drop into more knowledge bombs, I say we wrap up the show.
I was just trying not to go full rant mode this week, and I think I mostly succeeded.
mostly, yeah. You know, save that and keep that anger bottled up inside. Just bury it deep down, and then just never deal with it. That's the solution.
Yeah. That's how I deal with my emotions.
It's the best. It's the only way a man deals with emotions. So, all right. So wrapping up the show. Michael, anything you want to pump? Where can people find you on the internet?
I do another show on the culturemypeople.com called I Can't Know Music, I'll Know Music, which I'll be recording tomorrow with my co-host Blake. I also, like I said, I write for the website ss411.blogspot.com. It's Soundscape 411 if that's easier to remember. My name is Michael Nipp. You can find me on twitter.com/Michael Nipp, MichaelKnipp, and facebook.com/The Real Michael Nipp.
If you want to follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/Drewby132, facebook.com/Drewby132. If you want to email me on the site, drewby@theculturepeople.com. If you want to email the show, both me and Mike, podcast@theculturepeople.com. If you have ideas, stuff you want us to talk about on this show, because sometimes we need them. If you want to talk about other things, if you want to talk about what's going on in cultural screening, drop your feedback for what happened in the last episode of any of the shows that we're talking about. If you have a suggestion for an album to cover on I Can't Know Music, I'll Know Music, drop them there. podcast@theculturemypeople.com. It's the email address. We're on Twitter, at the Culture My Peep. You can get this podcast through iTunes. If you feel like it, you want to leave a rating, do that. If you're using Android, we recommend the app BeyondPod for that. That we're on. You can search us on there and find us, and that's a good podcast app. That's both Michael and I's personal podcast app of choice. Google Play is actually dropping a they're loading up for podcasts on their service as well. So we may be popping up on there soon. We'll see.
I should probably try to submit our crap to there.
I was gonna have you do that. I had forgotten to do that, so I keep an eye on that. Later this week, Mark and I will be doing another episode of cultural screening. So keep an eye on the site for that, and also keep an eye on for I Can't Know Music, Only Music. So, all right, that's gonna wrap up the show. Any final words? Is there anything else that needs to be said that hasn't already been said?
I can't remember my RuneScape password.
So for episode 54 of hashtag,
I once spent 2 hours of my life. So one time when I was first married, I was given the opportunity to get some extra money for Christmas. So I could, my boss knew some people that needed some computer work done. And he said, hey, you could do I'll tell this guy about you. You can charge him whatever you want to. You can do this after hours, and you can just make a couple extra bucks if you want. I was like, sweet, I want to buy my wife something cool for Christmas. So I kind of worked it out with Amanda where I told her I was working late, but I didn't tell her it was a second job, so I'd get extra money or whatever. And then I spent some time working extra hours at this daycare where I was helping them fix their computers and install some new software for them and stuff. And I worked at this daycare for a good amount of hours, and then he liked the work that I did, so he hired me to do some work at another branch of the same daycare at a different part of town or whatever. And then I gave him a number, I charged him, he gave me a check or whatever, and then I bought Amanda a tablet for Christmas that year. So I know the general vicinity. Now, I'm terrible with geography and maps anyway, but I knew the general vicinity of where this was. I once spent 2 hours or more of my life looking for emails because I just wanted to prove to my wife that this daycare existed, and I cannot find it for the life of me. I don't know where this place was. It wasn't ever there. I can't find it. I find emails relevant, but the building, I cannot find the building where I worked. And when I get in my head that I want to find this weird thing from my past, I just want to kind of prove that I'm not crazy. And sometimes I just can't. And that's kind of how I feel with this RuneScape account. I want to prove that I had it, but I have no idea how to find it.
It's It's called just brute force hacking, and you just type in lots of passwords and lots of digits and characters until you figure it out.
Yeah, I think so.
So cool
That's a
story,
show.
bro. That's a show. So for this episode of hashtag follow the conversation, episode 54, this has been me, your host, Drew B, who needs a haircut, and my co-host.
Oh, Michael Limp.